How is it different for you from when you were the chief of detectives?
It's a weight on your shoulders. You feel it immediately.
Just over 2 months into his job as New York City's police commissioner, Dermot Shea's life has changed tremendously.
It's an interesting schedule. I'm up early. I find myself waking up in the middle of the night. And yesterday I was shooting off emails at 2 in the morning. It's 24 hours a day. In
December, he succeeded former Commissioner James O'Neill.
It's kind of like being in the middle of a hurricane. You're in the eye of the storm and everything else is swirling around. And you better be able to stay calm, level-headed, identify what the priorities are.
And Commissioner Shea has his work cut out for him, dealing with a spike in shootings, robberies, and burglaries in the city in January. He is also tackling an increase in crime being committed by and against teenagers.
Manhattan suffered a lot, the Bronx also, but we're seeing that continue into this year.
One of those crimes was the shocking murder in December of 18-year-old Barnard College student Tessa Majors. Police say she was stabbed to death during a robbery. A 13-year-old boy has been charged so far in connection with her murder. Police also questioned 2 14-year-old boys, taking DNA samples from at least one of them. However, they have not been arrested. Commissioner Shea says he is briefed daily on this case, also speaking to Manhattan District Attorney Cy Vance.
I've spoken to Cy Vance a number of times, as well as the Corp Counsel, who's currently prosecuting the 13-year-old.
There are media reports stating that instead of arresting the 2 14-year-olds, the District Attorney's Office is presenting the evidence to a grand jury, so the grand jury can determine if the evidence is strong enough to make an arrest. Although Commissioner Shea will not comment about the grand jury, he does say this.
Do you think there's going to be more arrests?
I would anticipate more arrests, yes. It's not about the arrest, it's about the end result and making sure that the arrest stands up in a court of law.
In the hopes of preventing cases like this, the commissioner has launched a strategy to help cut down on teenage crime. He addressed the issue at a recent NYPD medal ceremony in Red Hook, Brooklyn.
It's about helping people. It's not just putting handcuffs and chasing robbers around, and that's a piece of this job too, but it's about changing people's lives. We have cases where 16-year-old kids have 20 arrests or more.
His idea? Having the NYPD's youth coordination officers at every precinct work directly with parents, clergy, and city agencies to intervene when a teenager is going down the wrong path.
When you talk about the Board of Ed, who all of a sudden started skipping school? Who's all of a sudden hanging out with the wrong kids? Do we have youth centers that we could stand up? Do we have gyms that we can open up? Do we have teams already that we can provide mentorships? Can we work with private businesses to, hey, how about an internship for kids in this community? In
our time with the commissioner, we also got a look at the nerve center of the NYPD, the Executive Command Center.
This is really where the critical decisions are made. When there's a shooting with an officer, we'll sit around this table and review it from bottom to top. What's the video? What does the investigation show? How does this change policies in the future for training?
You've got the cameras that are in the subway here.
Yep.
You've got the cameras out on the streets, and these constantly change.
That's right. So you have,
in real time.
You can, from this screen, from the keyboard, you can literally pull up any incident in New York City.
And politics has come into play. The commissioner was recently criticized for being a registered Republican. He voted in the 2016 presidential election. Several of his predecessors were not registered with any political party.
Person X is a Democrat. Person X is an independent, a Republican. Therefore, they must think this. We are people, and public safety is not political. Public safety is about helping people, making New York City a better place. And I just thank Mayor de Blasio for diversifying this great city of ours and adding me as the police commissioner.
In Lower Manhattan, Linda Schmidt, Fox 5 News.